Hello and welcome back to the Cove with more EU for Lost Ideas of Odin. Well, I was gearing up ready for war and then I came across a little hiccup to our plan. Well, not necessarily a hiccup, but maybe a slight more efficient option of things. So it turns out these guys don't absolutely hate us and would be willing to not just ally us, but we now have the reasons for them to accept vassalization. And so considering the fact that we're currently annexing one of our nations right now in well, just under a year that'll take, I feel like it's probably in our interests to maybe go diplomatically. So obviously if we attack these guys right now, they have a good amount of development here. 22 is quite substantial, but unfortunately for us, that doesn't really work out too well if we're going to be trying to finish off a bunch of administrative ideas. So if we could focus on the diplomatic power, I think that'll be what we should do. So as much as I was going to go to war with these guys, I no longer think that it's in our interests to do so. So if we have a quick double check as to the reasons, something that has improved our situation is the economic base that has improved things. They are threatened by us. Our military power compared to theirs is substantially greater than theirs, and we've got some decent diplomatic reputations. So I think as we continue to expand our military, we'll just focus on that instead. Hopefully we might be able to diplomatically annex a few others. In fact, you know what? I think I popped over this in the last episode, but there is potential here for strong duchies. This would give us more diplomatic relations and a less liberty to desire in subjects. I think all in all, yeah, we go ahead and we might pick this up. Yes, it gives them more influence. Their equilibrium is at 62, but we should be able to sort this out in the future. So I think we'll go ahead and pick up the strong duchies, and we're going to offer this here and now. So let's go ahead and offer an alliance. We will go ahead and start improving relations with them too, but I think it won't be too hard to get to 190. Again, the only issues we have is the fact that we have a claim and a small amount of border friction. So all things considered, it's actually not that big of a deal. Alright, so let's... where are you guys? Oh, you're all moving across? Okay, hang on a second. Let's bring you back to the general, and we'll float you back over in this direction. Yeah, that'll be fine. So just in case we do have any uprisings, I don't think we'll have too much in rebels, but you never know. Best to be safe than sorry. But yeah, that will free us up some admin power, and so I'm thinking maybe we try and attack Iroquois or something along those lines. We do want a little bit more capacity in well, inland. The further we move on in, the more control of this trade node we'll have, the more power we'll have downstream. We're doing rather well at the moment, 73% control in the Gulf of St. Lawrence. That does mean that, how much money is escaping? Only 2 ducats. So realistically, we're actually holding on to a huge amount of the trade value, which I do want to maintain. Now, we could go ahead and yeah, continue on working on some light ships, but I think for now, I'm happy with what we've got. We'll try and, yeah, we'll try and pay off our debts relatively quickly, and then we'll get back to boosting things up. Alright, so a promising trader at half price. That is nice. This guy's getting relatively old, and there's nothing else we can do, so we may as well collect that. We could also maybe... Do we have anyone who's half price here? Stability cost? No. No. Okay, so no one's cheap as far as administration is concerned, but we'll keep a careful eye out for that in the future. Alright, and yeah, I think we're all good over there as well, so we'll let that be. Alright, our explorer is ready. They have been searching out the Caribbean coast. That's fine. Let's go ahead and tell them to explore the Atlantic South American coast. Oh yes, here we go. That's all the stuff that we were looking at previously. Sure, you know what, it's probably a good idea to have a rough idea of what the coastline looks like now that we know where the ocean does take us. Yeah, just to see just how far those Europeans are spreading. A little bit of extra information's not a bad plan. Alright, so what have we got? Enough money to build some improvements, but again, as I said, we are focusing on our, what do we call it? You know, the thing. Yeah, so either way, we'll go ahead and do that. We've finished our state agenda. That is good. We could possibly summon a new diet. I don't think we will. I think we'll wait until we seize land again, or at least we get close to it. That'll be in another 3 years. Again, solidifying as much of that land is always going to be a solid plan. The French are also expanding, just in case you missed that in the last episode. They're trying to slowly move along. But we should... Oh, in fact, we've got the spy network. We should be able to take a claim against them. So, we'll go ahead and take that. That's all well and good. You're still being worked upon. Now that we have a claim, I think we could go to war with them. In fact, if we were to do this, Castile will not join in. They are not exactly friendly with France. Nevers and Liège will join in. We don't have to worry about that right now. Yeah, I'm thinking we might start trying to fight France. They haven't got much in the way of manpower. They don't have much in the way of soldiers. Their 10 ships, I had a bit of a look at the ledger. France has a grand total of 10 transports. So they're not going to be a concern for us. 11,000 men is a little bit of an issue, so we should start... Actually, you know what? We'll just start transferring all of our troops down here. We'll have plenty of space there. So we'll start marching our way around. We'll use our transports. We've only got 2 of them at the moment. We'll definitely go ahead and build them up in the future. But right now, I think fighting France early is good because, again, they are our rival. We could take a little bit of land from them, and depending, we might have a phenomenal chance at bringing in some money. Because, again, even if we just cash them out, that's a very, very good thing for us. Alright, hurtful trade policies. Okay, so extra trade efficiency for 10 years. I think that seems reasonable. Extra loyalty and influence. Sure, why not? Extra trade efficiency is extra money. Currently, our trade is looking quite solid. Yeah, 21 ducats per month. That is not bad. 44% of our income. So, yeah, that isn't bad at all. In fact, yes, we're making some money from production and taxation. But again, it is our money maker, so good to see that is working well. Alright, any other things we need to notice right now? Probably don't need to state up anything as of this moment. We don't need... those claims will be as they are. We don't need to take the conquer new states for the next little bit. Yeah, I think we just focus on bringing everybody across. Alright, cultural unrest. What do we see? That's one of our newer places. So autonomy, 40%. What have we got? Local unrest plus 10. Or extra autonomy. Honestly, the autonomy is probably fine. We'll just go ahead and throw that there. Yeah, it's not going to change that much of what they're producing. So that's all good. We'll keep on moving those troops. We have got a couple more galleys being built up right now. We did invest in a bit more of our navy in the last episode, so we are working on with a very solid defensive galley fleet. We can pick up tech, which is for military, so that'll give us extra infantry shock, cavalry fire, combat width, and weapons manufactories. Alrightio, that's not bad. Ahead of time for the next 9 years gives us absolutely nothing outside of what the tech does give us. So that is at least good. We don't have to worry about... What is this? That would say it would take us 9 years to get tech. at its current price. Well, that's not an issue. So yeah, we will be ahead of time. Okay. But that does open up some extra units, tactics, and supply limit. All things that will be particularly good when we get them. Alright, Denmark is spying on us. Oh, how wonderful that is. I'm guessing they're going to want some of the land around here. What have we got here? Delaware people request Norse conversion. Okay, well, losing aggressiveness and ferocity doesn't really help us. There's a 0% chance of them uprising. And, yeah, that's not going to do anything. We may as well just focus on Welcome to the Faith. And they can gain the aggressiveness and ferocity. Yeah, in fact, does that actually make things better for us? Ferocity, 0.1 military tactics. Okay, so I guess that means they would fight slightly better if they were fighting against us, but that doesn't actually change anything. No, it's mainly the population of natives here. Yeah, that is what changes the amount of local goods produced when the colony becomes a city. Yeah, again, not an issue. We have zero issues with that. Alright, so church attendance duty. Let's go ahead and do that. That will give us some extra manpower in True Faith provinces, which is the majority. Decently cheap, only 374. That is excellent. The next thing is another 3% in missionary strength. That would be very, very powerful. Devoutness will help keep our nation stable. Inquisition for prestige. Religious tradition for other Norse nations, which is nothing. But then there's Deus Volt. So, yeah, I think things are coming along nicely. Alright, let's keep on moving these troops across there. Again, they are going to be very concerned about us for the next little bit, but it doesn't really bother me. Anita, you are in part of the Hudson Valley, which was already a state. I think it's probably not too expensive to state on up. Let's just see, what would we need? I think that's done for free. That's why it wouldn't be here. It was already a state, so yeah, this would cost us a decent chunk. In fact, oh, it doesn't tell us the total cost, but it's approximately what? We'll call that 330 odd admin powers. So yeah, we're definitely going to go for the ideas first. We do pick up some extra troops, which is nice, helping build up our strength. In fact, you know, let's bring you over. Let's bring you over here, and the same with you guys as well. I'm not really too worried about the rebel factions right now, so we'll let them do whatever they do. Oh, and we've also got ourselves a new fortification. Oh, that is actually particularly good, and it's in the hills, so it's not the worst. Yeah, this is actually going to be particularly good. That does mean that no one can pass through this little gap here between the wasteland and Lake Ontario. If they go through here, they're going to get stuck. That means we can force them either side. That is very, very good for us. Alright. Well, that is ideal. Alright, so it looks like our navy is finishing up. We'll go ahead and bring them together. We'll try and catch out any of their transports if they have any there. It does look like we've got more. So we'll sail them across. Alright, more exploration is finished. How are we doing? Yes, okay, so Rio de Prata, they are working out well there. Castile has, has all of that. And South Georgia, okay, nope, no one owns that little island yet. Okay, good to know, good to know. Well, what have we got? Knowledge sharing from Micmac. Can we do this? I thought we were currently, knowledge sharing. Or was that to Oneida? Yeah, that could have been the case. Alright, let's go ahead and check out our diplomat. We'll see who is going to be able to pay us the most amount of money. You're 0.22. You are 0.11. 0.35. That is respectable. Yeah, okay. Well, you know what? We will go ahead and accept their offer of knowledge sharing. That'll do very good. Again, an extra third of a docket per month is indeed free money to us, and we're going to integrate it anyway, so we lose nothing. We'll continue on exploring. Let's see about the... what do we do? Do we maybe check out the Mediterranean? Do we check out the Pacific South American Sea? Do we zip around? The South Atlantic? You know what? We'll go with the, we'll stick around the Americas for now. I think that'll be fine. We should also upgrade those ships at some point in the future. But again, we'll do so after we have paid off our debts. We have until 39, which is another 4 more years. Only 260 ducats. That's not too much, all things considered. So I think that'll be all good. Castile has announced us as their rival. Okay, well, I was trying to avoid this for oh so long, but it looks like that is no longer an option. We may as well, yeah, embrace it. Alright, so with you guys at the moment, what can we do? We can embargo, we could insult. What would an insult do? Nothing but upset them, but that's not going to change too much. I suppose... could steal some maps. That would be funny. Supporting rebels? Heretics, particularists, peasants... All of those are going to be expensive, though. I can see it here. Look at that. 267. Yeah. The best ones are the most expensive ones, unfortunately. So we're not going to bother with that. Maybe we go ahead and... Well, we can't fabricate claims. What can we steal maps of? Brazil? That's an extra 50 provinces. That's not bad. Colombia for 37... okay, so I think we'll go with, yeah, West African, see, no. We're going to go ahead and pick up Brazil. We'll confirm that. We'll see that no one's really there. They've still done some decent exploring, though. Okay, so yeah, Portuguese, Brazil. Okay, so the Portuguese have this, the Spaniards are going to have all of that. No sign from England, because they are not really colonizing, as they are a subject nation. Alright, and so I guess over here we may as well go ahead and issue an embargo. We may as well try and boost up our power projection. We are getting very close to that 50 mark, which is always the best thing. But until then, just keep on keeping on. Alright, so 19 months, that seems pretty good to me. Go ahead and work on that. Yeah, I guess we didn't force their religion earlier, but you know what? It's already under the local missionary strength of the Enforced Religious Unity Edict, so that is ideal. We can cancel that up over here. Nothing worth protecting trade-wise, so I guess a couple of extra ducats will suffice. Alrighty-o, well, still spying on France. We could go ahead and claim that extra province if we desired. Got trade protection against Denmark. Yeah, that is a possibility. I think we'll just go ahead and... it appears like they have run away. Okay, well, you know what? If that is the case, we'll keep you all somewhere up over here. Do we keep the fortification up and running for now, just on the off chance they're going to try some shenanigans? I think that is what we will do. It's only a half a ducat difference, so we'll do that. We'll leave this one for now, because again, they'll have to break through our first line of defense. So that'll be all good. We'll get that all sorted. Manpower is slowly building back up again. Getting very close to maxed out, which is always very good. We can build buildings, but I think... Let's see, 0.11... 0.07's pretty good. Some extra barracks wouldn't be the worst either, but I think... Yeah, I think for now... We'll maybe Well, actually, you know what? That's not too bad for a courthouse. I think for the moment we'll just focus on getting rid of that debt so we don't have to worry about any future inflation. Yeah, obviously we probably could happily go ahead and build up a few more buildings and then focus on the debt. But at the same time too, I do not want to get distracted. It's only 3 years from now that we're going to have issues there, so yeah, the sooner we deal with that, the better. We could also go ahead and, you know what? I was thinking... Yeah, 21 galleys is good. We still have a couple of light ships floating around doing some protection of trade, but I was considering... we'll wait till tomorrow. There we go. You ships have shuffled across. Let's split our force, and we will... wait a second, where did you go? Okay, there we go. So you're protecting trade in Chesapeake Bay. That's all good. The rest of you, we might go ahead and ask you to privateer, because we can build up some power projection through privateering your rivals. So, whereabouts is everybody? We have... Well, Norse Post is here, obviously. We've got England, Austria, Cherokee. So, nothing too ridiculous. What about up by the Gulf of St. Lawrence? We have England, France, Denmark. So that's 2 out of 3. But no Castilians. Okay, what about down by the Caribbean? We definitely see Castile, Portugal, France. No Denmark, though. Okay, well... Is that something we could manage over at the English Channel? Austria... France, yeah, I don't think that there's a huge deal of benefit. I think we'll focus maybe up at the Gulf of St. Lawrence. We should get some decent money out of that. So yeah, we'll work against Denmark and France. I think that's the ideal choice here. So let's go ahead. Oh wait, not hunt pirates. We want to privateer the Gulf of St. Lawrence. There we go. So 2 out of 3 being pirated isn't too shabby, and that brings us up to 50 power projection, which does give us that extra power in admin, diplo, and military. So very, very helpful. Okay, a naive relative. Oh dear. Foreign spy detection. I don't think we really care about having worse foreign spy detection for 20 years. I'm sorry, buddy, but it looks like you're going to get executed. We'll lose some prestige, but again, we're consistently colonizing. We're going to be yeah, continually building on up. I'm not that bothered by things. Alright, so it does look like Denmark have started another colony. One thing we should check is what are their ideas? Administrative, quality, and aristocratic. Huh. Okay, Do Danish ideas give them natural, bonuses to, yeah, administrative, quality, and aristocratic, yeah. I guess somehow they've got a colonist, so they're doing okay. No legal heir for that kingdom. Yeah, they're looking pretty rough. We could have definitely beat them up a little bit. Let's see. Should we build a spy network against you? It's probably ideal. Having some claims is better than not. And then let's continue fabricating claims on things. Yeah, that'll do. Alright, so 12,000 men up over here. I think we'll go ahead and... Do we declare war about now? Castile is still not joining on in. I think this is the best time to break up that friendship. Yeah, this is what we're going to go for. So, let's see. Yeah, we'll go ahead and take this. They won't join in, but that's all good. Are we improving relations? Hang on a second. I almost forgot if we were working on that. We're not, but we're probably not going to be able... You know what? We'll just go ahead and focus on, yeah, improving relations there for a little bit. Alright, so I think I'm fairly happy with what we've got. We've got a general over here. We could maybe hire a second one. You know what? That's probably ideal. You never know. We might get a good one. So, a 0412. That's actually quite decent, considering. 5 value is still not the best thing, but a couple of siege pips will never hurt. We'll put you there just in case. In fact, we'll march you over there. Get a little bit closer. Yeah, and then we can try and surround them. I think that is the plan. So, colony self-sustaining. That is this one here. Could block them in a little bit further. I'm tempted. Could stop the Danes from having more land to disembark from. Yeah, I think... What do we do? If we go here, that would give us, what, 1, 2, 1, 2, it's not much of a muchness as far as traversing through here, but we could maybe move a little bit quicker through these states up through there. So I think we'll give it a day and then we'll quickly fill that blank on in. Alright, so that should be good. Everybody's in position. I'm feeling fairly happy. Oh, right. Let's go ahead and... Oh, we need to upgrade our ships too, don't we? 10 ships need upgrading. That's 100 ducats. Hang on a second. Do we have a shipyard there? No, we don't. We should. Right over here. Okay. We're going to go ahead and upgrade them. We're going to make sure that they get sorted out sooner than later. Let's go ahead and we will fix that up. That will use up a few of our sailors, which is fine by me. Power projection is dropping again. Bother. Having a eclipse to Castilian West Indies. What do we need? I guess it needs to be long time embargoing France and Castile. That might build up a little bit more. Same with Denmark. And then I guess privateering them elsewhere as well? Or is it amount of time? Oh well, we'll figure it out. It'll get sorted. Alright, so these guys are going up by, what, 10% per month? 13%. That's pretty good. We'll work on that. So, let's see. That's another 6 more months, and then we can go ahead and attack. You're going to be fine up over here. In fact, you know what we will do? We'll take you and march you one province over. That way, if they try and escape out through here, we can, we can surprise them. Either that, or, we can stand right next to them and then quickly zip on in and catch them, yeah, in an ambush. Alright, so that was our navy finishing doing whatever they were doing. We'll go ahead and... You know what? I would say go to port during war, but I don't think we'll have an issue with a couple of transports. Let's continue on exploring, and we'll go with... no, the South Atlantic seems good enough. And you know what? Maybe we just upgrade our ships now before we forget. They are in port. You know what? No, we'll upgrade them at a later date. It'll be fine. I'm not too concerned. Yeah, we're in a pretty good position. The French are not exactly that dangerous. They have built up their numbers a little bit, but again, not here, so yeah, we'll be fine. You guys are at 51%. I guess we'll go ahead and... What do we need? 13. That'll take us to 76, 89. Okay, so another 3 months. So on the 1st of 37, we'll go ahead and declare the war. I think that's the best way for us to do this. Just guarantees that our navy is in full control. We might be able to snag some of their extra, what do we call them? Any of the extra ships for some bonus war score. Agent was discovered. That is unfortunate, but again, we will, Oh, colony self-sustaining. Alright, very nice. Where was that? Roanoke. Okay, fantastic. So, yeah, they're looking a little uppity, but I think we'll ignore them. Let's travel... Hmm. Where do we go? It looks like the Castilian West Indies are expanding. Let's maybe... You know what? We'll squeak out this other one over here. Again, it's not like the... that's going to make much of a difference. But it might give us a little bit of extra land just in case we ever need to retreat when we're fighting these guys. We will definitely have a much greater force than them. And, yeah, we should have a decent ability against them. So I'm not too concerned there. We're almost at a point where we can pay off that final debt. Oh, but we are in January, so let us go ahead and declare our first war, our first offensive war against our European enemy without one of their other friendlies, which would be very, very scary. So, let's just double check. Yeah, that's over in France. Yep, alright, we are all good. Castile will not listen to their call to arms, which, no, they're allied with, so why on earth are they not defending, or, oh, you know what, it'll be Defender of the Faith. That is what's going on. Okay, well, at least we don't have to worry about the Defender of the Faith getting involved. That does make our life a little bit easier, although definitely a concern with Castile. We're going to have to deal with that in the future, but either way, let's go ahead and start our war. We do outnumber them quite substantially. Let's move on in. So, they have a grand total of about 6,000 men. That's not going to do too good for them. They do have one tiny little transport in the harbour right now, but we're about to send out our galley fleet. We'll go ahead and, you know what, just to be on the safe side, I think we'll pick up an admiral as well. 3141. That is excellent. Good work there. That'll make you quite a scary prospect for the enemies to deal with. And that was our very first engagement and a stack wipe against the French. Hip hip hurrah. That's extra prestige, army tradition, and all of that jazz. A little bit of war exhaustion for us, but not as much as it is for them. So we'll go ahead and, well, they've got 16,000 men. I don't know what they're really going to be able to do. Let's split our troops, go ahead and take the objective, and we can just camp on out. Yeah, once we have control, we're not going to stay here. There's no need to devastate things. Colony is self-sustaining. That is fantastic news. What do we want? Do we want to fill in the blank? I think we fill in the blank. It seems only reasonable. That also does keep the Danes at a nice and controllable little area. We could maybe throw in a fortification, say... Actually, if we throw in a fortification up here on those hills, that would expand out to here. I guess technically they could squeeze through, maybe... But again, that would cover a fair bit of our coastline. We've got options. We've got some good options. Alright, do we seize the colony? I don't think we do. It's not really in our best interests. I don't think burning it really helps either. There's nothing for us to really loot, so... I guess you can just chill where you are. The Navy, yep, one transport is not going to survive against us. That will do fine. There is control of what we needed. Let's bring everybody back to friendly territory. Again, we are trying not to devastate this more than necessary, because again, if we're going to take it, I'd rather have good use of it. So, what are we going to be able to sue for peace? Well, first of all, we can take land in France. Ooh. Wait. No, never mind. No, we can't. Need at least 10 war score, and we don't have the fortification available. We're going to have to do a little bit of double checking around, but you know what? Leave that to me. I will have a bit of a squiz at what is available, and I'll show you what we're going to be fighting for in the next episode. So if you do want to see that, be sure to hit that subscribe button. It is the best way to catch all future content, and I'll see you next time. So until then, thank you for tuning in to the Leviathan Cove. This is the Leviathan, signing out.